Welcome to the Happy, Healthy Life Podcast with your hosts, Rob and Randy, who reveal the truth, the lies, and confusion about health so that you are no longer the victim to mainstream medical dogma and you are the hero to your own happy, healthy story.
Hey there, and welcome to the Happy, Healthy Life Podcast with your host, Rob and
Randy.
And we are the Happy, Healthy Guys. So today is a special episode. We're going to be answering your questions about why you can't lose weight, why you're stuck, the questions that we get from the viewers and the listeners, as well as questions that we get from random people that we talk to out in the public. We always get the same questions. And so we felt like, you know what, let's just create an episode and episodes moving forward where we answer these questions for you so that you're no longer stuck, you're no longer frustrated, and you can be able to be living a happier, healthier life. So let's go ahead and get started. Here's what the questions that we get most frequently whenever we meet people. And in fact, I just had this question this past week, and I was at an event in Austin at a retreat, and one of the gentlemen at the event asked me this question. We get it all the time. He said, "Okay, you're a metabolism expert, weight loss expert. What foods do I need to be eating for weight loss?"
I love that question.
We get it all the time.
I love that question.
And so, the answer to that question is for us, it's not as simple as saying, hey, go eat a goji berry or, drink some protein drink. It's a little bit more complicated than that. So here's the answer that I gave back to him. And I'm sure you may have a different answer than this, Dr. Randy, but what I said back to him is I said, you know what? It really all depends on what is happening with your body, because everybody's body is unique and different. So everybody has different needs. I don't know what this gentleman has been doing leading up to me seeing him at that point. So there's more information that I need from him in order to be able to give him a great answer. Mm-hmm. And so here's what I said is in order to make sure that you're losing weight, number one is you need to be eating nutrient-dense real food. And so, but as you're doing that, you also want to know, what, do you even have a metabolism issue? That's why we created metabolismscore.com. You need to find out, okay, do you have a metabolism issue? If you have a metabolism issue, then you need to make sure that you heal your metabolism. And then once you have a healed metabolism or a healthier metabolism, you know what, as long as you're eating nutrient-dense food, you're going to either maintain that maintain a healthy weight and or lose weight. It depends on what it is that your body needs, but it's kind of a loaded question because I think what's happening is people have been trained to want a quick fix and just tell me the one food that I need to eat or the foods that I need to stop eating in order to be able to lose weight.
You can almost fill in the blank, like what's the one supplement I should take? What's the one food? What's the one exercise? And it is more nuanced than a quick, hey, eat this or do that. So I love your answer. Great answer. And I think you nailed it, hit the nail on the head. It's really, what does your body do with the food when you eat it? Does it burn it or does it store it? And that's completely contingent on the health of your metabolism. And so at the foundation of everything, we always want to approach health from an inside out perspective. And that's why people who potentially are eating worse than you and don't struggle like you. And then people, right, that are the opposite of that. There's no rhyme or reason, but it's all about what does your body do? Is it able to metabolically function at a high level and burn those calories and use them for energy and fuel? Now, with that being said, if you feed your body a bunch of processed food and a bunch of crap loaded with seed oil and processed sugar and processed grain and flour, over time, you're probably not going to get away with that because those are metabolic toxins and metabolic poisons and metabolic obesogens. But eating real food is always at the foundation of anything. We talk about it. Simply eat real food. And what is real food? Well, our definition is if you throw food on the counter and you walk away for a couple of weeks and you come back, if it looks the same, ladies and gentlemen, it is not food. It is something that's built for shelf life. It's preserved. It's but it's got chemicals and different type of flavoring agents and colors. It was built for shelf life. It'll probably stay fresh into the next millennium, but it's not built for human consumption. And I can promise you, our ancestors were probably not eating that crap.
Yeah, so I think the answer is more, all right, rather than what foods do I need to be eating, here's something that you can do if you do have that question. It's what are the foods that you shouldn't be eating? So exactly what it is that you said is you need to eat real foods, stop eating fake foods. So just to make it practical and simple, stop eating a bunch of processed foods. The more processed foods that you have, the more that's going to wreck your metabolism because the toxins that are inside those foods are metabolic disruptors. So eliminate the processed foods, add the real foods. That right there is going to be a good place to start and really start asking yourself, okay, what are my daily habits? What do I do on a daily basis? If you're somebody that starts your day, for example, with eating cupcakes or donuts or cereals, grains,
that's
things with
the same thing. Cupcakes and cereal. I mean, is there any difference between those two?
No, there's zero difference. It's the same thing, right? It's like, you know, it's like the sweet bagel, for example. Like that's that's the solution to not eating donuts is eating a bagel.
Yeah, it's healthier than the donut or the cupcake.
Yeah, so stop eating the processed foods, okay? You can stop eating the processed foods first thing in the morning because that right there is going to cause your insulin levels to go through the roof. Next thing you know, you've got cortisol levels that are going up. If cortisol levels are going up, then that's going to put you into a place of fat storage versus fat burning. So start looking at the habits and the things that you're doing on a daily basis. Listen to the past podcast episodes where we talk more in depth about these topics. So right there, the answer to that question is what foods do I eat? It's a little bit more complicated than just eat this food or that food. It's like, what are your daily habits and what is it that you need to eliminate versus what foods do I need to start eating?
Yeah, in a world where Doritos and donuts are considered normal and the people that are eating real foods are the crazy people, let's wake up, guys. In fact, I was at the local health food store here in Grapevine. What's the name of that place called?
Sunflower Shop.
Thank you very much, Sunflower Shop. And I was in there, and I walked over to an area of the store, and this guy, he grabbed me. I don't know if he thought I worked there or I don't know what he thought, but he's like, "Hey, what do you think about this supplement here?" And I said, "Well, let me take a look." And I looked at it, and it had sunflower oil in it and soybean lecithin. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't use this product because they're using these artificial seed oil products to preserve these supplements. And he goes, oh, why didn't even think about that? He goes, because they put all that crap in our food. And I'm like, yeah, they do. All these chemicals, all these forever chemicals, all these flavoring agents, the same people that make all these chemicals that go into our supplements, into our food supply. Remember, these are the same people that are making pharmaceutical drugs, these chemical companies. So if you're not somebody who wants to put drugs in your body, you sure as heck wouldn't want to be eating processed toxic food with these same type forever endocrine disrupting chemicals. So,
yep. You've got questions that people have sent in. So let's read the first question that somebody has sent into us, and let's answer that one.
Yeah, this was a good one that we got, and thank you for sending this in. We won't give the name here, but it says, I've been going to my doctor, and they've been running all these tests, running all this blood work in labs, and they said that they just can't find anything wrong. Interesting. So she goes, my question is, you know, I know I've got this weight issue. I feel like it's a metabolism problem. Why isn't my doctor looking at my metabolism? Great question.
It's a great question. And a simple answer is because they don't know how to look at your metabolism for a lot of reasons. One of those being metabolism isn't specific, and anybody in our program that have gone through our program, this is one of the first things that we teach them is that there is no such thing as a metabolism organ. And what is your doctor going to do? They're going to be looking at a specific organ.
Yeah, they checked your thyroid.
And that's exactly what it is. I just had a conversation with somebody about their thyroid as well.
Quote,
right? Yep, exactly. And by the way, the numbers aren't going to show that you have a problem with your thyroid until your thyroid is already in a state of crisis to begin with. Right. So by the time you have an abnormal lab for your thyroid, you're already past the point of no return as far as damage that's been done. Now, the thing is, there is no such thing as a thyroid organ. A metabolism organ.
Right.
Metabolism is really dependent on all of the organ systems in your body because metabolism happens at a cellular level, right? So why then, okay, would your thyroid show something normal? Well, it's very simple. You could actually have an issue going on with your liver, which is where thyroid hormone is originally synthesized. The building blocks come from the liver. So if there's a problem with the liver, that could actually be causing you to have a metabolism problem.
Yeah, and great point. So they looked at one thing, right? Have you noticed how, and this is pervasive across the Western medical model, this allopathic mechanistic reductionist model, where you kind of break the body down into all these separate parts and pieces as if they all work independently of each other. It's just not the way the human body works. So you isolate the thyroid, and then you've got all these doctors that are all organ specific. That's always baffled my mind, that you've got a doctor for this organ and that organ and this organ, and they're all treating the organs like a machine. They're either medicating it, tweaking it, taking it out, trying to improve it. It's a nonsensical approach. But when you look at the body as a whole, if you just looked at the thyroid, like you said, a lot of that conversion of the T4 into the active T3, it's going to happen in the liver. It's also going to happen in your gut. How many of us out there have had gut issues over the years? You've had liver congestion, gallbladder problems, or at this point, they said, well, we can't figure it out. Let's get that gallbladder out of there and put you on medication for the rest of your life. So if you don't look at the body as a whole, you could easily miss this. Even looking at T4, T3, reverse T3, thyroid stimulating hormone, you can look at all those panels and they can all test normal. But if you don't look at the body as a whole, like you said, there's no one metabolism organ. It is everything. It is the heart, the lungs, the pancreas, the thyroid, the liver. It is the endocrine system, the hypothalamus, the pituitary. It's hormones, sex hormones, and metabolic hormones, insulin, glucagon, leptin, cortisol, adrenaline, adiponectin. It's toxins that build up in our body. It's trace minerals. It's hydration. I mean, we can just keep rattling off all this stuff, and they're not looking at that. So the simple answer to this is, why would you look for something as a doctor if you have zero training in knowing how to correct the problem? And that's not a shot, and it's really not. It's not a shot against your doctor. We really believe in our heart that anybody who's a doctor, you probably became a doctor because you really want to help people. You have a heart to serve. I find it hard to believe that the majority of doctors are just in it for the money or for the ego hit. I really think they care about people. The problem is, remember who trains your doctor. You know, whoever pays the doctor is where they get their training from, and they're trained by this medical industrial complex, this pharmaceutical industry. They sponsor all the curriculum, all the incentives are in place. Their job is to diagnose and treat conditions with drugs and surgery, and there is no pill, supplement, medication that you can take that's going to heal your metabolism. And so a lot of times we're putting our doctors in a really precarious position because we're going to them asking them for health advice, and then they're giving us what they're trained to do, which is give you a drug or recommend a surgery, and then we're mad at our doctor. We really should be mad at ourselves because we're asking doctors to do things they have no training in. You know, I use this example a lot, but Dr. Rob, if somebody came to us and was getting a consultation on having, brain surgery, I don't know. I don't know that we're probably qualified to give that recommendation, and it wouldn't make us bad people. If you went to your mechanic and asked for a haircut, your mechanic's not a bad person because they have no training in cutting hair. You just got to start asking yourself, who are you getting health advice from? What is their background? What is their training? And this is one of the reasons why we're so metabolically sick. Dr. Rob, we have the most expensive healthcare system in the world, more doctors, more drugs, more pharmaceutical companies, more pharmacies on every street corner, yet almost 94% of America is metabolically unhealthy. Which is clearly more doctors aren't going to resolve a metabolic issue that they have no training in resolving.
Yeah, which is why they're great when it comes to emergency medicine. And that really is where it should be left. I was just thinking, as you were saying that even when I had the back surgeries that I did, I wanted to make sure that I was being worked on by the best neurosurgeon, not an automobile mechanic. And he was a great neurosurgeon. And it's interesting too, because he even was telling me in consultations after the surgery, he's like, Rob, what do I need to be doing in order to lose weight? I've got this gut and I need to get rid of my gut. He's asking me for advice on metabolism because he knew that's just not what it is that he does. And I could really get behind that and respect that. And so I love that about him. And you met him as well. Great guy. And he knows, I am the best in the world when it comes to helping people with disc issues in their lower back. And that's exactly what it is that he was doing. And he was even telling me how frustrated that he gets when people ask him these type of questions, because he's like, I just don't know, because that's not what I was trained to do. We don't get any training when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to knowing what foods to eat, knowing how to be able to help people to be healthy. But I can put you back together when you're in an emergency situation, which is, exactly where he should be. So
good point.
I love that.
The just really quickly too, the emergency medical component of our healthcare system is about 3%. So keep that in mind. 97% of our medical system is diagnosing and treating and managing chronic illness with drugs and surgery. It is a big business. It's growing by the day. And this is why we do what we do. We want to help you get out of the system, no longer being a customer, and stop going to doctors for answers that they just aren't able to provide, not unless they've stepped out of their training and have sought other methods. There's just no way in the world our medical system is going to resolve a problem that they're clearly been put in charge of, unfortunately, and it's an unmitigated mess. It is a disaster when you look around at all the people that are hurting and suffering, and everybody's got a doctor. They've gone to the doctor for 20 and 30 years, yet their doctor's advice has them sick, depressed, overweight, and medicated, and in worse shape than ever before, as their doctor blames it on their age and their genetics. It's too convenient for me.
Yeah, and there's some enlightened ones that are out there. We met a couple, husband and wife, emergency room doctors in Austin.
Yeah, we did.
That they were seeing people that were coming in for these things that really shouldn't have been an emergency. People that have had these massive heart attacks, that they're like, you know what, we want to actually do something upstream from that. Started getting training in functional medicine and being able to help people prevent these things, opened up their own practice there in Austin. And they're doing a lot of good things for people because they could actually see the mess that was happening and why people were in the emergency room unnecessarily. So, all right, next question. Oh, this is it. This is a really good one. I love this one. Okay.
What you got?
All right. This is when people say to us, you know what? I hate going on a diet. I don't like diets. And the next question is like, okay, how come? And their response is, well, because I can never stay motivated long enough to stick to a diet. How can I stay motivated longer? The reason people don't stay motivated to do, number one, is they're doing a diet, which is going to be calorie restriction, right? Well, how many people really want to start eating less food, restrict their calories, not to mention restricting their calories, but also eating foods that they absolutely just hate, and not getting a good outcome and not getting a result. Okay.
Even worse.
So it's hard to stay motivated doing something when you're not actually seeing any results happen. So because of that, they'll stop, right? Why should I continue to keep on doing this if I feel like crap, nothing is happening, and so I can't stay motivated? So how do you stay motivated? Well, you do something that actually works. You do something where you're actually going to be seeing changes. You're going to see your body fat percentage reducing, your weight reducing, you're feeling better, you have more energy, you're actually seeing results. That's how you stay motivated. And those of you who are in our program or done our program, when you get on the scale and you weigh less than you did the day before, and you're putting that in your journal and you can actually see that, you're very motivated. You know, it's really motivating when the clothes that didn't fit you are actually now fitting you. It's going to motivate you to continue to keep on doing what it is that you're doing. So really, what is it that's going to motivate you? It's results. Doing something that works, which is why I absolutely love our program, because we know it works and it gets results. And that's why our folks stay motivated.
It does work. If you know, you know for sure. I'll tell you this too. Here's another question to piggyback off that, which is they'll ask the question, what do you tell yourself on a daily basis to stay motivated? And really, I know for me personally, I don't really tell myself anything. I ask myself really good questions. Here's a question you probably should ask is, if I don't fix my metabolism and I continue to go down this road of dieting and exercise and caloric restriction and seeking out answers in the medical community, what is that going to look like for me over the next 10, 20, 30 years? That right there is extremely motivational, because all you have to do is look around and see it is not working. What we're doing is not working. That's all the motivation I need. And I've seen this play out. You have too. Probably everybody listening now or watching, you've had this play out. Look at your parents. Look at your grandparents. Look at your aunts and your uncles and your friends and their family. Cancer, heart disease, stroke, diabetes, obesity, chronic illness, Alzheimer's. These are all the things that are taking them off the planet way before God intended, yet almost in every situation it was preventable. And I don't want to go down that road. I'll be 50 years old in a few weeks. I cannot believe this. And I can honestly say at 50, and you know this because you're my best friend, man, I feel so incredible. I think I look just as good as I've ever looked. I mean, a little less hair and some gray, but I'm telling you, I'm not planning on checking out anytime soon. And because of that, I go back to, what is my why? What is my purpose? And because of that, I don't tell myself anything. I ask myself really, really good questions.
I like that you said that. I'm going to read this because I want to add to that.
Yeah.
We've got Kim right here. We're getting messages right now. Kim says, I've lost 10 pounds week 1. So
Great
in
job,
1
Kim.
week, lost 10 pounds. That right there is motivation. And then you've got Charlotte right here putting her photo on in here.
That.
We're getting pictures of people saying, hey, you know what? This is the new me. This is my motivation.
Absolutely.
I love it. You're motivating me. And I think here's one of the things that people have to be really careful with when it does come to motivation, because what they're doing is they're using the emotion motivation to somehow fuel them.
Yeah.
It doesn't, yes, having a why is great. And we talk about having a why in our program. We talk about it all the time. But one of the things that we also talk about is actions over emotions. Let your action determine your emotion. In other words, you get up in the morning and you have that, another one right here. I lost 12 pounds in the first 2 weeks, lost 20 pounds, day 6. Amazing.
Day 6, lost 20.
So fantastic. So here's the thing. So you wake up in the morning, you know that you have a goal, right? You wake up in the morning, the first thing that happens in your mind is your mind wants you to feel comfortable, and your mind wants you to stay in that nice, warm, cozy bed. So now
you're out of your left brain right now.
Oh, absolutely. So my mind is telling me, hey, you know what? It feels way better to be in here than to get up, to do your meditation, to go do your workout, to get outside, to do those things. So I already know that my action is I've got to get up. So it's action over emotions rather than going through that whole negotiation in my mind. So I'm going to get up and do that. And guess what? My emotions change as a result of getting up and doing that. I feel great. My energy levels are higher. I'm proud of myself. My confidence is higher because I actually took that action and did that. So that's, again, in our program, which is why we have people that are journaling these things on a daily basis. It's amazing. We're getting all of these messages right. By
the way, Chris Oxley down
45 pounds.
45 pounds. Insane.
So
wow. Sharon said, wowzers.
So that's motivation right there. That's another thing that's motivating is when people are in our program like this. And so when you come into our community and you get to be in our VIP Facebook page and you see the wins and the results from everybody else who's in that group, well, now you're motivated because you're like, you know what, I'm not alone. And it's the whole entire community of people who are moving together that is also motivating right there.
Now it becomes more inspirational where, the commitment that you made with yourself, having that integrity, that you keep that same commitment long after the feeling has left that was there when you made it. It's going from motivation, which is here today, gone tomorrow, to being inspired to do something way beyond just losing weight or fitting into a smaller dress size. It's about really looking at your why and your purpose. And then the best part, Dr. Rob, take this thing all the way home, because with our community and all the results and all the inspirational stories that we read, the highest level of all of this becomes what?
becomes aspirational.
That's what
where you aspire to be like these folks. So,
Yes.
okay, so we've got a few more minutes.
Okay.
So we've got a lot of questions. So you know what? Let's continue this again. We'll may continue this in the Real Talk segment, even next week. Let's do one more question.
Okay.
That way we can be able to get to our VIP group. So do you want to read one more from one of the?
Let's do one of these.
Okay,
here.
let's
I
do
like
it.
these. Let's do okay, let's do this one here. Okay, so this lady sends in, she goes, listen, I love the program. I've gone through your weight loss challenge, which we know do several times a year. She goes, I've done it twice. I've learned so much. I've cut out my seed oils. I'm eating great job, eating mostly real food, and I'm no longer snacking on nuts and seeds. I feel so much better, and I've lost some weight. However, now I'm stuck. She goes, I still need to lose another 25 pounds. What the heck do you think is going on here?
Number one, I want to say congratulations and thank you for going through the challenge. And so obviously twice. So you've done things different than what it is you've been doing before. But now I think we're getting to the point where now there's something bigger going on underneath the surface, right? So obviously that person right there has a metabolism issue, and that person needs some true metabolic support, true metabolic healing to be able to get to the root of that. The next thing for that person would be going, you know what? You need to find out what it is that's disrupting your body's metabolism. Do a metabolic disruptor assessment. That way we can be able to customize a plan of action that's going to be specific to you.
Right.
Because at that point where it gets really fun, I got a message from somebody earlier today who had been through a couple of rounds of the program. And the great thing, and here's what they said is, they said that now that I'm so much more aware of my body, they said, thank you so much for that I'm aware of how my body is doing. So I can tell 100% what it is that I need, but it took going through the program to be able to get to that point. So they can be able to literally coach themselves. This person right here needs coaching. They need support. They need somebody who can be able to guide them with a specific plan of action.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And not to minimize the changes that you made. Hey, at a basic level,
Unbelievable.
You start eating real food, cut out seed oil. So smart, so simple, yet so powerful. But yeah, if you're stuck and you're trying to navigate this thing by yourself, it's just really hard to win alone. It really is a challenge. I don't like to try to do everything on my own. I'm thankful that I've got you as a best friend and as a business partner to help navigate this life. I've got such key people, great family, great friends. And the same thing with a weight loss issue or a weight loss resistance problem and poor metabolic function. Stop trying to do it on your own. You know, we've got a whole community here of people who've been where you are. They are your future because they've been where you were. Now they are where they're at, and they know how to help support you to get you there. Our coaching team, Dr. Rob, you, myself, our commitment to this entire company, they need to get involved with us and work with us directly metabolically so we can, like you said, figure out what is going on here. Something's off. Remember, it's not just what you're eating always. What does your body do with the food when you eat it? Does it burn it or does it store it? And if you're not able to lose weight consistently or keep it off very easily, you just don't have a strong metabolic foundation. Let us rebuild that for you. So if you're listening, we would encourage you, hey, jump in line with the team. Let's get you going. Let's get you assessed. Let's customize your plan. Let's get your metabolism working because you got a lot of people that are here to support you, that love you, and that want to help you get to your ultimate goal.
Yeah. So so for that person, I'd say go to metabolismscore.com. If you haven't already done that, if you have, then do this. We're here to help you. Just take the score, DM us on Instagram. Let us know what your metabolism score is. You can ask us questions in there. Like you said, let our coaches help and guide you and point you in the right direction. That's what it is that we're here for. We're happy to do it. You're not bothering us by doing that. In fact, it was funny because yesterday we had somebody come into the office that was, we thought was somebody that was like this, like just asking questions. Come to find out, it was somebody who's in program right now, and you may even be listening here, literally came into the office, which is great. We don't have a lot of people since we don't see people here in the clinic anymore come in. And so this person, one of our virtual clients, and was just beaming. You could see just on her face, she was glowing because of the results that she's had so far on the program. So it was really fun. And it's funny because Randy and I, we hear somebody in the lobby. If it's not the UPS person picking up your kits that are going out, and it's like a quote, a real person, we like literally run out to the reception area so that we can be able to have communication, because outside of these office hours like this, we really don't have a lot of communication with our clients. So that was really fun to be able to see them come in. But they were like this person right here. And they actually took that next step. They did the metabolism score. They started the program, and now they're literally seeing the fruits of coming into the program and their results. Super motivated.
Yeah, and speaking of motivation and inspiration, it was her mom who had joined our program, and her results inspired her daughter to want to jump in, who came over yesterday, which is really, really cool to see that happen in your family. And so, yeah, go take the quiz. If you're listening now, you don't know where to start or what to do. By the way, that quiz takes maybe 2 minutes. It doesn't take a long time. It's very quick. We get right to the point. We ask very specific questions to determine the health of your metabolism. Metabolismscore.com. Once you fill that out, we can now help support you, guide you, direct you, and connect you to the right places to go, so we can make sure that if you really want to do something about your health, you want to turn this around, you're tired, you're sick and tired of being a customer of this broken down medical industrial complex. You're sick and tired of taking all these supplements and medications and going to doctors and getting all these labs done. And you're really ready to heal your metabolism and do it very safely, simply, and effectively. Go fill that out. We ask you to do that. And those of you who are our clients already, you're welcome to take the score. If you haven't taken it, probably all of you have all got a rock star metabolism. So great job there. Also, just want to say, please share this podcast episode. And if you liked this type style that we did with the Q&A, let us know. Let us know in the comments, send us an email, hit us up on social media. We want to hear from you, because we're obviously wanting to give you guys absolutely our best content, answer all of your questions, and help continue to guide and lead you. So thank you for your trust and allowing us to do that.
Also, here's a great place that you can go as well, is we're having a masterclass. And depending on when it is that you're listening to this, we got a masterclass coming up this Thursday. If you don't get into that one on April the 28th, we're going to be having another masterclass. So if you go to h2thinmasterclass.com, that's a place that you can go to be able to get the answers that you're looking for as well. So metabolismscore.com or h2thinmasterclass, get registered for the masterclass. It doesn't cost anything, and we're going to give you information that's going to go deeper than you ever thought possible when it comes to healing your metabolism. So do that. And this was fun.
I had a blast. Great job, my friend.
Absolutely.
Well, we still had so many questions we didn't get to, but
we're gonna get to.
If had questions, where should they submit that? Where would you say they should?
The best place to submit any of your questions is going to be through DM on Instagram at the H2 Life.
Yeah.
So at the
H2 Life.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
On Instagram.
And I'll put it I'll make sure it's added to the show notes. All the resources will be in there.
Okay.
And so we've got Charlotte says, love this format. Awesome. Thank you so much. So you guys have a blessed day. Have a happy, healthy week. And we'll see you again next time.
God bless you. Stay happy, healthy.
Thanks for listening to the Happy Healthy Life podcast. If you enjoy the show, make sure to follow them on Instagram at the H2 Life or on YouTube and Facebook at the Happy Healthy Guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review the show wherever you listen to podcasts.